And welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime, more specifically, the finale. Last time we confronted Meta Ridley and actually made it to the core, and this time we're finishing up the Metroid Prime. Now I did want to say that because there is still a lot more, that's why I decided to cut at the end, and that was a weird place to cut, I know, but the reason is because I've been having some capture problems where with long recordings, the audio gradually slides apart. From the visuals, I wanted to basically cut it at 20 minutes because it would probably take at least another 20 minutes to beat the game, and by then the audio would probably be completely in shambles. So that was my reasoning. If I had just been a little bit faster, I could have cut after the first phase, which would have been ideal, but there was no way I could have clocked that much damage, and that is our true final boss. The wrong visor. The Metroid Prime. Oh, this is still the Metroid Prime. Scan indicates that the phase-on energy form of Metroid Prime is invulnerable to all conventional weapons. Only attacks from a phase-on fused arm cannon will damage it. It generates pools of phase-on when it attacks. Use these to fuel its phase-on weapon system. It can also create Metroids to try to kill you, and because it's a real jerk, I did not use many missiles in that fight, it just occurred to me, and it can be a real jerk and turn invisible, but in different ways. Now that's a weird way to put it, but by different ways. Sometimes you will have to use the heat visor, other times you'll have to use the thermal visor. Sometimes you can just see it in normal spectrum, so you have to be constantly on your toes for this fight, which is kind of cool and kind of frustrating at the same time occasionally. Just as a note, you will want to have the ice beam equipped at all times during this fight, specifically this early part. Towards the end, I have my own strat for getting past this. One of its really bad attacks. So yeah, we'll be implementing that strategy in a bit. But for now, I'm going to switch to the thermal visor very shortly, because I think we can only see it now with the thermal visor. I'm not yeah, see. Where's the pool? Because you have to stand in this tiny little pool of phase-on, and also, you know, keep your sights on the Metroid Prime. It can actually be a little bit difficult. Yeah, I remember dying on this fight. I think I died on both forms, potentially. I know I died on this form at least, but I could have sworn I also died on the other form, on normal, or in GameCube normal. This game's normal, again, like I said last time, is actually a little bit easier. Because it's about to do its Metroid, or phase-on thing, I'm preparing a charge beam, an ice charge beam, towards the center. Now, what mode is it in? Just normal, Spectrum. So yes, the ice beam, the charged ice beam was so I could easily take out both Metroids that spawned there. And those were normal Metroids, I should clarify. It gradually spawns in tougher Metroids as the fight goes on. I think the next phase it's like the Metroid Alphas, which are not easy or fun to deal with. Apparently there's actually an exploit in the GameCube where one of the routes along the side is high up enough that you don't actually need to worry about the shockwave. And apparently it also doesn't change view modes as much. So it's a weird glitch in the GameCube version. I don't imagine they'll let you do that in this version though. Just because that would be really cheap, and I don't see them allowing something like that because it was a pretty well-known exploit. And you know, it was just a case of, you know, level geometry, like this one point that you probably weren't intended to stand on, and you're able to stand on it. So, and it's just kind of one of those cool little things that's interesting from a programming standpoint, but also not completely shocking that they would not let that remain in any future version of the game. Okay, got that one, and... oh, ow. and that one is probably thermal, or yeah, thermal. So yes, just keep rinse and repeat. That's basically this boss fight in a nutshell. We're already halfway through it, so that's good. My main issue with this fight on my first run was actually the Metroids. I had a hard time dealing with the Metroids for whatever reason. So I found a strat, and I'll be implementing that strat because we're getting close to the point where it spawns in more Metroids, right? So my strat is, oh, it switched views. Oh, hi, you're right there. So yeah, it'll probably start spawning in Metroids pretty soon. So one thing you can do is actually use power bombs to instantly defeat Metroids. So yes, we will be exploiting this weakness. It's not an exploit as in, you know, it's something that wasn't intended. It was intended that you can one-shot Metroids. But it's also a technique I'm really happy exists because this fight is a complete pain in the butt if you do not use this. And this was always the part I died on, which is frustrating because it's at the end of a 2-part boss fight. But yeah, this was always the part that I had trouble with. The Fission Metroids, because the Fission Metroids, you have to basically fight a bunch of Metroids to the point of eventually, like, they have to split off first into 2 different types of Metroids, and you have to switch beams. So if you just destroy it instantly with a power bomb, that saves you a lot of time and hassle. So yes, use power bombs. And also, I don't think power bombs work on Ridley, to my knowledge, or even the first form. So you got 8 power bombs, assuming you got them all. So it's like, why the heck not? Now, I wanted to play it very safe, and that's why for the regular Metroids and Alpha Metroids, why I opted to instead just fight them the conventional way. In case you're wondering. Oh, it's visible. And that's it. That's the game. And with that, we have finished the first Metroid Prime. Now there's going to be one bonus video, because this game doesn't have a ton of post-game. There is some post-game though, so there will be one more. It's a decent game. I enjoy it. I like replaying it. This is my 3rd playthrough. Problem, I feel like people talk about this as one of the best games of all time. If you look at game rankings or Metacritic, it is one of the best games of all time from a technical standpoint. And to be honest, I enjoy it, but it's also one of those things that I just don't quite, it doesn't click with me that same way. So if I ever felt like I was getting discouraged, I know like that part that I didn't even bother commentating just because it's like, it's just like a 30-second clip of getting a missile, and it's like, I felt it wasn't really necessary. I was definitely running out of steam by the end of this, more so than even with Zelda games, because I've Let's Played 3 Zeldas. But for some reason, I just was running out of steam big time at the end of this game, and kind of just wanted it to be over, so needless to say, there's not going to be any more Metroid, at least within 2017, maybe 2018, because, I mean, they say Prime 4 is being aimed, it's just being aimed at post 2017, which is a big time frame. You have all of infinity, potentially. I'm guessing 2019. So that gives me 2 years. Yeah, 2 years to get through Metroid Prime Hunters. Yes, I am going to Let's Play Hunters, eventually. Prime 2, which is my personal favorite, and Prime 3, which I would actually rank second favorite. I am just not the biggest fan of this first game, to be completely honest. The credits are actually wrapping up really fast, so I might tack on the bonus content to this video, actually. It's actually looking like it's gonna be not that long. In any case, I did enjoy it, even if I am not super into the series. And I hope this was an enjoyable Let's Play to watch. And I'm trying to think of anything else to say, really. But yeah, Metroid was one of those things where I got into so late I have like no nostalgia for. To the point where it just... Also, I think it's because these games don't really have much in the way of like emotion. Because all attempts at throwing emotion into Metroid have all ended in catastrophe. If you get 100%, you actually do get a bonus scene and be unlocked hyper mode. So that's pretty cool. 9:28. That was actually a minute shorter than my other file. Basically, the ending sets up the next game, Metroid Prime 2. So that's neat, I guess. I selected no there because, well, recording failure potential, and also because there's the fact that I actually do have a completed file on hand for bonus content. And I'm just gonna tack it onto this video because why not? It's like we finished this a lot sooner than anticipated. If we go into concept art, we can unlock all of the concept art that we have unlocked for this game, which is all these. I think there's still some locked because I didn't scan everything, so some things are still missing. You got all the music from the first game. We don't have any music from the second game other than the main theme. Friend vouchers involve WeConnect 24, therefore it's kind of useless now. What was it? Bonus gallery? Yeah. Basically, here you can unlock things like screenshot tool, which obviously also kind of involve WeConnect 24, things that don't concern us for now. But the big thing is with like I think it was like 2 silvers and 1 orange, or 1 orange and 2 silvers. I can't remember. You can actually unlock the fusion suit from Metroid Fusion. So I'm just gonna hop in. I think in hyper mode, it's just mainly difficult. Also, we actually are finally seeing those loading transitions from the trilogy version. They actually change depending on what costume you have, or what suit you have. Say if well, you start off the game with the Varia suit, so obviously that cutscene has the Varia suit. But once you get like the gravity suit, or just the regular power suit, it will change accordingly. So this is basically a New Game Plus run where you can actually use the fusion suit. Right off the bat, you notice you can actually skip cutscenes now. In addition, we are actually using the fusion suit. This is basically the equivalent of the Varia suit from Fusion, and thus you go through all the different phases. Like the orange one, I think, corresponds to the Phazon suit. In addition, all logbook entries and scans carry over, so if you're a completionist, you actually don't have quite as much to do. You actually don't have to scan everything. Just to demonstrate, Samus's gunship we scanned in the main LP. I didn't scan it in the LP, okay. That was probably my problem. But like, some things you can scan and, you know, you won't have additional like information about them because you've already scanned it. The original version, the Wii version, not the Wii, the GameCube version, had an additional bonus, and the fusion suit was actually not in the game originally. What you had to do to unlock the fusion suit, I think, was to complete Metroid Fusion, and then link it to the GameCube version via Game Boy Link cable. And then you unlock the fusion suit, and you unlock the ability to play the original Metroid for the NES. Obviously, later subsequent versions did not have this because, quite frankly, the Wii Virtual Console existed then, so they wanted you to buy Metroid for $5 separately. So, unfortunately, we cannot play the original Metroid. I wouldn't want to anyway. The game's kind of not newbie friendly. Zero Mission is a really good place to start if you are new to the Metroid franchise. Trying to think of any other things. Yeah, with hyper mode, I think it's mostly just enemy damage to and against. Like, I think enemies take less damage, they might have more health. You also, I think, take more damage. You might get fewer missiles from pickups, so that might be a different Metroid. I'm trying to think of anything else important to note. And I'm actually drawing a blank at the present time. Oh yeah, there was also a pinball game. I guess I can talk about that. Metroid Prime Pinball was a retelling of this game with, well, pinball. It was on the Nintendo DS. It's actually the only Metroid I've never played. I've played actually every Metroid except pinball because I don't like pinball that much. It's just not for me, I guess. But another thing about Metroid Prime Pinball is I think it does sort of cut out some locations. Again, I don't know because I haven't actually played it myself. But in any case, I think we're pretty much done here. I think I've talked about all the bonus content I actually wanted to talk about, ironically, in this video. So yeah, I think we're good to end off, and thus there will not be a bonus video after all. So, in any case, I haven't decided what my next Let's Play is. I'm torn between Super Mario Galaxy, more Kirby, though which one I'll save for later, and Super Paper Mario. I haven't quite decided. I've been kind of feeling kind of a Kirby mood because of the anniversary, so it might be another Kirby. We'll see. But I also want to get to Galaxy before Odyssey comes out. And that's not too far away, let's be real. Also Earthbound 1, aka the American Earthbound 1, which is Mother 2. So yeah, those are the possibilities at the present time. Or Banjo-Kazooie is even a possibility, but I'm getting ahead of myself massively. In any case, I think I should stop rambling and just end this. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Metroid, not Metroid, for my new Let's Play.